This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
How important is Boo Carter to Tennessee this fall? Or when you see this, how important was Boo Carter? That's the situation in Knoxville. I'm John Pennington. This is the Sports Source Digital Network. I'm joined by John Wilkerson, by Ryan Callahan, by Bob Hodge. I want to talk about Boo Carter's impact and importance to this team. And when we are taping this, and you will see it, I don't know, about 6 hours after we tape it, it is Wednesday afternoon. And as of now, still on the team. Lots of rumors. They're all over the place. How important is he to the team? And then we'll turn it into, well, if he's that important, how far should they go to get him back?
Yeah.
Is he massively important? Is he just another guy? Go ahead.
I'm going to go with he's very important because to me, in the limited amount that I saw him last year as a true freshman, he looks like a potential superstar. And it's not just with the ball in his hand, returning a kick. He's a very good tackler. He's a very hard tackler. He doesn't slow up and grab somebody and throws them down. He runs into them and blows them up. And quite honestly, I don't think you've had a lot of that kind of talent over there in your defensive backfield. Maybe not the best defensive player now, but potentially the best defensive player I think you might have on your team.
I'm not willing to go. I'll say honestly, not very important in terms of
Fun.
In terms of what he means to this season. I think Tennessee's win-loss record is the exact same with or without him. I don't think he makes any. I think he maybe helps you in the return game as a defensive back. I think they're potentially better without him in the starting lineup. I think he's an okay player. I think he's been overrated by a lot of fans, though.
Wow.
But they're giving him a huge offensive package this year.
I don't think so. But I mean,
No, I'm clearly, for those of you who pick up on my cynicism.
Me and Ryan watch football games in a different way.
Well, no, I think
he stood out to me.
I thought he was incredibly. I said yesterday on a YouTube short that if you ask me who are the guys that look like they could play at Georgia or Ohio State, who you immediately look at and go, oh, he's dynamic. Boo Carter would have been second on the list, maybe, and that's to Jermod McCoy, who's hurt. Maybe he's third on the list. I think he looks like a dynamic player. Before you follow up on your point, how important do you think he is?
I think he has the chance to be incredibly important just because, again, I would be in Bob's camp that you saw flashes. He seems to be one of those guys that has a nose for the football. And I think that if there was somebody, it was much smaller sample size, but it would have been back to kind of like a Dwayne Goodrich where you just saw something immediately. Or not quite. I'm not going to put him in the same zip code as Eric Berry.
Right.
But he was somebody who, again, it looked like his instincts were really sharp.
A lot of talent now. Tell us why we're wrong and why you don't think he's that important.
It's not that you're wrong. I think he is a good football player. I'm not saying that he's not. I think he kind of became a larger-than-life figure before he got here because of how dominant he was in Chattanooga, and a lot of talk
at the
about
three different schools he went to.
Right.
A lot of talk in the recruiting process, and he has those flashes. I think he's very good in the return game. That's where he's got the potential to be an Evan Berry type, where he may be known as a first-team All-American as a returner if he develops and builds that way. As a defensive player, I think he shows flashes, but I think he's also unreliable. I think he has mental busts that fans may not see and things like that, where you put a guy like Colton Hood, for instance, in there at the start position, you may get similar or better production. So,
I wonder if there's the case that is Colton Hood going to be is he going to make the flashy plays that we notice?
Yeah.
And that's
Maybe not, but he also may be more steady. Is that what you're getting at?
I think
that he's a guy that's more trustworthy.
A lot of people in the program think Colton Hood's more of a high-level NFL talent.
Okay,
But
we
see
are
what I see
wrong.
though. What I see is for years, and it's not just Tennessee, it's everywhere. Guys that grab and drag when I'm tackling you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not over there. The staff knows a lot more than I do. But I see a guy, you're carrying the ball, I'm running through you. You happen to be in my way because I want to get over here. So I did not see other guys last year on the field that were doing that. So I just, to me, it looks like that Boo Carter is elite or potentially elite. I shouldn't say elite, potentially elite.
I also think, John, this is a guy in terms of as a return man. He's electric with the ball in his hands. That can win you a ball game. So that's where I think, and you did reference this, that could be the one place that you think you could hurt him. But you're in a tight ball game.
Yeah.
And you got that guy. Because here's the deal. We brought this up on the Sports Source Digital Network a few months ago and went back and looked. Since Josh Heupel has arrived here, it's kind of a hidden nugget. Tennessee has ranked first, second, first, and first in punt returns in the SEC. Pretty good.
Wow, yeah.
But you just lost your special teams coach. So I don't know is that going to continue without him? Maybe. You've done it with different players, but I kind of like the idea of having a dynamic Boo Carter back there. Whether Eckler was making a difference or not, Carter would be there to be explosive in that aspect of the game.
Yep.
And again, field position can swing the thing. I don't know what your offense is going to be this year. The last couple of years, you lean more on defense. Therefore, I'm more concerned with your special teams. If you told me that Joey Aguilar is going to come out there and throw for 40 touchdowns like a Hendon Hooker, super.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going there, though.
I do think special teams wise, he also, as Ryan highlighted, that could be actually the area where he helps you the most, especially this year. And again, you just look for somebody who it looks like either he's a step in front of what he sees the other side doing, or he just immediately sees where's the best path. But again, it's very limited because you got to see his role increase as you got deeper into last year.
Yep.
And so it still isn't start to finish. And there is also that side where not only are you supposed to mature physically, but you're also supposed to mature mentally. And you just wonder, is he all in?
Well, okay, so let's take it that direction. I think that, and you always get this, the spin from the school it's always the player's fault. Player, it's always the school didn't live up to their end, whatever. Let's take it that he isn't the best teammate in the world. Okay, let's just lots of people believe he hasn't been around.
He doesn't live in the weight room.
He hasn't been around for all the off-season stuff. Okay, if that's the case, how much do you fight to bring him back? I know your answer, so let me get these other guys. We think he's special in terms of a player.
Yeah.
How much do you fight to bring a guy back who may not be all in as a teammate? You've already, and the problem being, how's that going to look when you've already had one of those guys depart this offseason? Right. In terms of names, I mean, he was a preseason All-SEC.
Yep.
Nico would have been if he'd stayed. You've lost two of your, 3 best guys, 4 best guys? And it could be because they were bad eggs. It could be they just didn't get along here. So how much do you look at it and say, well, it's talent, we got to keep the talent, or he's a bad fit, we got to remove that. But if we do that, well, there's the Nico aspect. Now it's happening with everybody, and we're going to get some blowback. What do you do?
You know, he was a freshman. And I always think, okay, you give some chances. As far as I know, I haven't picked up a newspaper. Well, nobody does anymore, so let's go a different direction. So far, I haven't seen reports of him going into a Casey's and holding it up with a BB gun or a water pistol.
He's not Jansen Jackson yet.
Getting pulled over and having stuff in his car he shouldn't have. So when you look at it from that perspective, if it is an attitude thing, okay, you'd like to think he could grow.
Yeah.
You would like to think that an 18-year-old kid who, particularly in this state, rode the top of the wave in recruiting. He was a 4-star recruit that people around here and that follow UT treated like a 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
We got to have him, got to have him. So maybe you can knock some of that off, and he does become a better teammate. So I would, at this point in time, without being over there in the building, I'd say, yeah, I want to, hey, Boo, we want you back.
So
maybe you got to do some changes, but we want you back in.
But
here.
you would lean toward.
I would lean towards bringing him back, knowing what I know now.
Okay, but what if it took you making some concessions?
Well, it would depend on what the concessions were.
So you would actually consider if he's like, man, I ain't coming back and doing your
I
penalties.
mean, yeah, there are concessions you can make, and there's other concessions that I just don't think you can. I mean, in this day and age, money's one that maybe you can.
Yeah.
But there's other things more team-related that I don't think you can.
John, what do you do?
I think you do what you can to keep him, and at the same time say that there's a line.
Yeah.
And you can go up to this point. Here's where we're willing to give you grace. Here's where we're willing to be very patient, and here's where we're hoping your teammates feel the same. But I do think that there's only so far you can go, because I don't think you can look and approach it any differently than you did with Nico, simply for the fact that at some point you had to realize We just aren't going to sit here and moon over somebody who has no interest in being here or isn't willing to do what's expected of you to stay here.
And Ryan, if there's some sort of, if he's not doing what he needs to do and everybody else on the team is, all right, that's bound to cause some sort of friction, you would think. How much then do you think they need to just say get out? We're asking the question of how much do you fight to get him back? Yeah. I'll ask you the opposite because you don't clearly see the value we do. How much do you just say out?
Well, and to be clear, I'm not saying Boo's not a good player.
No. You just don't think you don't think he's as important to the team this year as we do. That's okay.
I don't think he's one of the 5 best players on the team. Yeah. But so regardless, though, there's a lot of potential there. I think the reason this is such a complicated decision, though, is what you might lose in terms of goodwill with your fan base. Because I think the immediate reaction from a lot of people, fair or not, would then become, you've had a terrible offseason in which you have lost 2 of your highest profile players. Why is this happening?
One who just got a raise this offseason.
So on the surface, whatever the problem might be, if Boo Carter ends up leaving, it might be because Josh Heupel is holding his ground and protecting his culture. Yeah. That might be the reality, but the perception is different. The perception is, bottom line, you're losing a high-profile player if that happens. So I think this is a complicated. If there is a decision to be made, I think it's more complicated than people might think because there's a lot to worry about. Like, especially if you go 8-4 this year, the way a lot of people have been talking, 8-4 with this kind of offseason looks very different from 8-4 with none of this stuff.
True, but I think if it can be mended, then I fight to bring him back. If he's coming back and being standoffish and he won't live up to, okay, if you do 1, 2, 3, you come back, and he's like, I'll come back, but I'm not doing 1, 2, 3. There's the door. If there's an issue with the players, if it looks like somehow he's getting favoritism, well, wait a second.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do any of this, and now he's back.
And you're preaching culture.
Especially when you have built a program, and we've praised Josh Heupel for the culture he's built over there. I'm not going to let the kid mess with the culture because I think down the road the culture will pay off, and fans may be mad at me. They backed me on the Nico thing. They may not back me on this one, but I'll worry about that later. I don't think he's in any jeopardy of being in the hot seat this year, maybe off season. But if I'm him and there's a real test of what it does to the team, what message it sends to them, does it rock the boat in terms of the culture I'm building, then I just say, all right, we told Nico to hit the bricks, or he hit the bricks and we said we told him to go. We're going to tell Boo Carter to hit the bricks too. We're not going to sit here and cater to one guy because as much as that might hurt the team on the field, it may do wonders behind the scenes with the guy who stays, with the players who stay.
Yeah, no. Eventually, though, when you tell enough stars guy to hit the bricks, you're going brick by brick in the wrong direction.
Let's end it on that one. All right. Bob Hodge, Ryan Callahan, John Wilkerson. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think he's very talented? Do you think he's an important part of this team? 3 of us do. Or do you think, they've got other players? Don't break the boat. Don't sink the boat for one bad sailor. I was going to say something else, but we would have all giggled. You tell us in the comments section what you would do. How much would you fight to get him back? Or would you just say, there's the door? What do you do? Tell us in the comments section. Be sure to click the thumbs up. That does us a favor. Hit subscribe. Ring the bell. And we'll see you next time right back here on the Sports Source Digital Network.